College sweethearts John and Marcia Koverman are passionate about the arts. Combining their creative talent was a natural idea, and so Koverman Mosaic was born.
When somebody asks what we do, generally we say we make tile, and then we say really, really, really little tile. After that, we go on and explain that we started out basically doing production, tile, 12 by 12s and borders. We've recently come into the art end of it. We met as seniors in high school and wound up at college, not intentionally, wound up at the same college, both wound up not intentionally going into art, and that kind of led to the whole thing. Here we are today. So we go to Kinko's tonight to blow the...
I think it all stems from, in school she was in ceramics, I was painting, so that's how this comes together. And she knows the clay, and I mean, for what we're doing now, that's pretty important.
Yeah, but it seems like something that people might like. I know it's a little too cliche, or it seems a little too cliche, but I don't know if you could. John's background was in painting, and he is a master at color. We only have, the glazes only come in X amount of colors, and his mixes create even more than that.
But in the end, the final image is kind of a collaborative thing. She is just as much a critic as I am, in terms of getting the thing right. Usually, it starts with a drawing, like anything else. Depending on what the image is, most of the faces or intricate pieces, we're gonna go directly from the photograph rather than try to reproduce it ourselves. Put the image under the plexiglass, the tile will slide on that a lot easier than putting it directly on the paper. The mirror is a function of just getting some distance from your piece, because you can't.
He can take his tile then and slide them around on this piece of plexiglass and look in this mirror that's off to the side, which reflects off of the mirror on the ceiling, and it gives him that distance. It's just a painterly kind of a thing, just using mixes of tile. Our process is we'll take a block of clay, maybe a bread-sized block of clay. We have a wire cutter that we can take down into that and have various slices. We take that slice, put it on a tin, roll it to the right height, we glaze it wet. Because the clay sticks to the tin, we can then take a wire cutter, whatever size we want, whatever size tile we need, a wire cutter one way and a wire cutter the other way. We trim it up. When it's dry, we can just slide it off of that tin and put it onto the kiln shelf.
One advantage that we have that other people who work in ceramics don't is the tiles are so small that we can glaze it wet, which is a no-no in ceramics. Usually doesn't work, but they're so small that nothing happens, so we can get away with it. What is interesting about this as opposed to painting, though, is painting you generally work from the most general to the most specific, and so you're not making those decisions, those color decisions immediately. This, you really have to start in one spot and kind of build out, and you're on the final level of detail right at the beginning. So you have to make kind of intricate decisions when you don't really even know where it's going. Even though mosaic has been around for, you know, since before history, it's still kind of a I don't want to say a lost art.
And I think some of John's pieces become so painterly that they're almost too painterly. So people walk in, don't even understand that it's tile, you know, and a lot of people don't even realize that we make our own tile, which is, you know, surprises them.
But it is interesting, no matter how much it looks like a painting, it's still the tile that people see. I mean, it's
The little tiny tile, you know.
The image is still about the tile, regardless of what the subject matter is.